And in today's video, I'm just going to talk about cruise. So we all know that with the pandemic, a lot of us in Singapore are stuck. We haven't been traveling for almost close to 2 years. And I mean, even with this VTL opening up, vaccinated travel lanes opening up, but a lot of us don't feel safe actually traveling. So a lot of us, the other better option is definitely to go to islands hopping or going on a cruise. So recently I went on a cruise with my husband. So we just came back yesterday, and before the cruise we did quite a lot of research. We wanted to get the best price, but it wasn't very easy knowing that the cheaper prices, if you were to want to buy a cheaper ticket price, right, you have to go during the off-peak season, which is during the weekdays, but we are still working. So we managed to get secure a ticket in October, which is this month, and it is still considered off-peak, but it's rather pricey. I don't know, so I paid I think about 195 per pax. So I myself paid that, and then that actually excludes the gratuity fee of 63. So basically they will charge you a tax, a service charge kind of thing. Per day is about $21. So we stayed a total of 4 days 3 nights in the balcony stateroom. If I'm not wrong, I think it's the one with the bigger one. So there are 3 types of room. There is the balcony one, which is the basic, and then there's another one which is the larger one. I can't remember what's the term. And then the of course the most exquisite kind, the most luxurious kind would be the palace suite. So we went with the balcony one, so that's the price we paid. Overall, I didn't really enjoy myself during the trip. I think it was okay because as a kid I go for a lot of cruises. I go for star cruises, and my family just love going to cruise, and my parents also now have been still going on cruise and things like that. And they also shared with me the standard has dropped so much after the pandemic. The cruise has been trying to cut costs, so a lot of things are being compromised, the standard of the food isn't that great, and true enough and a lot of activities are paid. Which is not the usual thing for cruise, because most of the time when you go on a cruise, right, the food is usually paid for. There's a variety of food to choose. There's a variety of there's different kinds of restaurants and eateries for you to try out, and a lot of activities going on in a normal cruise, a sea-cation kind of thing. But I think not for this time, so I wouldn't say that I really enjoyed myself. So if you are going, here are some tips. Let's start probably with packing, because I think some of the videos didn't cover about that. Okay, so I traveled in October, so this would be the latest video update when it comes to cruise going on the dream cruise. So what you need to bring, of course, is your passport. You need to bring your IC. Why you need to bring your IC? Because they want to verify your address. Now, if you don't have your IC with you, you can use SingPass, so you don't really have to bring it. It's probably I would say it's an optional thing, but if you just want to save the hassle of of not opening up so many apps, then you just bring your IC. So passport, IC, and you need to bring the Trace Together token with you. It's rather lame because on the board itself there's another device which is Tracy, right? So you have to have that 2 devices with you at all the time. So I don't know how it works, but you just need to bring along with you. So these are the 3 things that you need to bring with, right? Okay, then other things I don't think is required. For example, in terms of dress code, they are very, very relaxed with it, because previously on the cruise, when you go for restaurants, you wear formal, smart casual kind of outfits, right? But not on this ship. So on this ship you can wear slippers to theaters, you can wear slippers to practically all the restaurants, casinos. They have no dress code whatsoever, so you can just dress shorts, t-shirts, slippers, flip-flops, whatever. So we are pretty relaxed with it. And then another thing is that mask, they do provide disposable masks. So they actually put 2 disposable masks in every room cabin, and let's say if you used up, you can actually request for more. And they also replenish the day after. So like during when they are doing the makeup of the room, right, when they're actually tidying up the room, they will also replenish the mask. So you actually don't have to bring extra disposable masks because they are readily available on board. So that's one thing that you can actually not bring to lessen your luggage. And in fact, most of them bring very, very small luggages. You don't have to pack a lot because the clothes can be washed there. You can air dry it or sun dry it at the balcony. So yeah, you don't have to bring a lot of outfits, maybe just like 1 or 2 outfits, that sort of thing. And you don't have to bring any formal wear. You can just wear casual, throughout this whole cruise. So that's one of the perk. And anything else, like hair dryer provided, toothpaste, toothbrush provided, soap, conditioner provided, shampoo provided. But I find that the body soap that they use, right, contains certain chemicals that can be quite drying on the skin, because like my husband was using it and his skin was very, very dry after that. So I do not know whether you want to like use something else or whatsoever, like bring your own bath products. But I also realized that it's rather drying, but I didn't use the shampoo. I used my own shampoo. So that's one thing you can consider. Other than that, everything else provided, that's safe. And the room is pretty nice. When we went there, it was a little bit dusty, like the curtains was dusty, but overall, very, very clean, very well furnished. The balcony is nice. And what else? Okay, the best part about the room is probably the bed, because the bedding is like really nice and very soft, very comfortable. So that's one part. In fact, throughout this whole trip, I enjoyed sleeping on the bed so much that I actually took small naps in between, like the cruise itself. So that's I think that's one best part about the room. And let's talk about the activities, and also about the ART test on the first day itself. Okay, so many people do not know this, but you can actually check in way earlier. So the doors will open at 2 p.m. but before that you have to take the ART test to test whether you're COVID positive or negative. So you need to allocate about, say, 2 hours, because you also need to check the migration and stuff like that, your documents and collection of the Tracy devices. So when I went there, it was I reached there at 11:30 a.m. but before that there were already people queuing to do the ART test. Okay, so my recommended timing would be to reach there by 12. So when I posted this video on TikTok, because I actually shared some of my tips on TikTok, some of them say that between 10 to 11 will be a perfect timing. So it's really up to you. So when I went at 11:30, I managed to get in and settled down by about like 1 o'clock, and then from 1 to 2 is just waiting for them to give further information on where we can go on board. Okay, so when you do the ART test, it's pretty easy. You just do a swab very fast. The waiting time of the test result, they would say it's about an hour, right? But actually it's pretty fast. I got mine within like 30 to 45 minutes, I think about 35 minutes or so. They would send you a SMS notification, but even before you receive the SMS, you can actually check your test status via your Trace Together app. Regulars who go, who frequently go on Dream Cruise, they do know that they can actually check in earlier. So the benefits of checking in earlier is that once you go on board, you can actually catch lunch, because my check-in timing was stated like I think 5:35 p.m. So if I were to reach there at like 5:15, I mean, let's say it's like I go there slightly earlier, I have to wait for like 2 hours for my ART test to clear, or maybe perhaps 1 hour now that the queue has lessened. And then by the time I go on board, it's like 7 and it's already dinner time. But if I'm able to arrive there earlier, I can catch lunch. So we got our lunch at around 2:44, like that, or so. Okay, so when you're going on board, right, while waiting to get up the ship, to alight onto the ship, they actually dispatch us into different groups. Okay, so the funny thing is this, they go by like group 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, and then 2A and stuff like that. you know, my husband was with me all the time, right? So they actually gave us a ticket, each a yellow ticket. And I realized that he gave my husband a group 1D ticket. So he's supposed to go 1D waiting area. Whereas I get a 1E ticket. So that means his group will be caught first, and then mine will be caught later. So group 1A will be first. So I'm not too sure because you know, like I suspect they give people the random groupings very randomly, because some of them who arrive much later actually got group 1A, which means they get to board the cruise first before us. So I'm not too sure whether you can sneak into group 1A. I mean, let's say you didn't have the yellow ticket that says 1A. I'm not too sure. They might check or they might not check. For our case, he actually checked, but he didn't check my ticket. He checked my husband's ticket 1D, and he thought that the both of us are from the same group, so he just let us go. So if you can't wait to get in, you can try sneaking in. I mean, no harm, right? I mean, if let's say they catch you and then they say that you can't go in, then you just wait till your group is being caught. So that's one of the things that you can take note, or you can, you know, try to sneak in earlier. So once we go on board, it was already like almost 3, so we didn't bother to check in. We just straight away, I mean, to go into our cabins, we just straight away go to the restaurant. So the level that we entered, right, is actually deck 7. So deck 7 is also where the Western restaurant is, which is the Dream Dining lower deck, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, the lower dining area, lower dining room. So we went there for lunch, and that's the first time I tried their food. Very mediocre. How do I say? It's like kitchen cooked food. It's like home cooked, rustic, 1970s, 1980s Singapore kind of Western food. Frozen chicken, frozen fish, not fresh, very poor quality at a very nice, elegant setting. It's funny. It's just not the kind of food that I expect, you know, especially on a cruise. So it really, really differs from my expectation. And then the funny thing is that people don't mention it on YouTube. I don't know why, but as you know, most of them, some of the influencers are being sponsored to go on a cruise. So maybe, you know, because of that, then they didn't mention about the food quality, but it was very poor, to be really, really, really honest with you. Okay, so after that, at around 3:30, so I actually wrote down all the timings. Okay, so at around 3:30, we went to check in the room. Okay, the next tip, right, after you have done all this, the next thing you should do is to straight away make your reservation for any activities that you'll be interested. For example, like making reservation at the pool, because now with this pandemic situation, with this COVID-19 situation, they do not allow a lot of people to be in the pool and the jacuzzi. So you need to make your reservation at the pool site. The pool is on deck 16, and there's a counter which is right next to it. So when we were there, right, we saw this like queue of people. Then we thought, like, you know, what are they doing? And then when we go there, we realized that, oh, actually they're making a reservation for the pool, to use the jacuzzi, to use the main pool. The main pool, I think it's only about 1.3 meters. Not very big, rather small. Can't really swim, but yeah, but I think a lot of people just want to like take a dip, you know, that kind of thing. So that's that. Another thing we realized is that you also have to make a reservation for the gym. So when we were watching some of the YouTube videos, a lot of them didn't go to the gym, and then some of them said that no one uses the gym. But in our case, the gym was very packed. We didn't make a reservation on the first day. So by the time we go on the second, third day, it was all fully booked. So we literally have to wait for people to either exit the gym earlier so that we can get in. So that was quite a painful experience, because we had to spend a lot of time waiting for that. And then after that, we had dinner at the Lido. I think by far, Lido, because it's a buffet restaurant, there's more variety. So I think it's by far the better one, followed by the Chinese restaurant on deck 8. And then the not so nice one, which I find it very boring, it's the Western restaurant at deck 7. So Lido, the buffet restaurant, is at deck 16, same level as the swimming pool. And right outside Lido is actually like a snack bar, a 24-hour snack bar, where you can get snacks for free anytime, but their snacks is like very limited. Okay, it only has like French fries, mini curry puffs, samosas, cookies, buns with butter. What else? Basically, it's just that, you know, like finger food and very unhealthy finger food. Yes, chicken nuggets, they taste good. Apparently, potato wedges, they taste good. But yeah, not the healthiest thing to have. And one thing I noticed very, very interesting is that on board, right, at the Lido, there were a lot of people drinking like milk. There were a lot of people asking for milk, and so I tried it, the milk. So apparently it's not from a carton. They actually dispense it from a machine. But it makes me think, like, you know, is it like fresh milk? But it doesn't taste like fresh milk. It tastes like UHT milk, like processed powdered milk. So I'm not too sure whether they use powdered milk to make the milk in the machine, or they empty the big packets of like UHT milk and then put it inside the machine and then, like, I don't know, mixed it to, you know, so that it tastes nicer. I don't know, but it's just that a lot of people, you know, ask for like one full cup of milk, and a lot of people are drinking it. Not only at the snack bar, but they drank it at the Lido buffet. After dinner, lunch, breakfast, people are like drinking cups of milk. So I don't know what's with that, you know. So one thing is that you can drink the tap water in the room. The tap water is clean. You can boil it. They only provide mineral water bottle once per day. If you want additional, you have to pay, like, I think it's about $2. Yeah, so I mean, if you don't really want to drink tap water, you can always drop by the Lido 24-hour snack bar to like refill your bottle to get water, clean water. On the third day, surprisingly, there were more classes. I'm not too sure why. And some of the fitness classes are complimentary and some are not. You have to pay private, I mean, you have to pay extra. Those complimentary one, right? Okay, here's the thing. Because of this COVID-19 situation, every class only can allow to up to like 10 participants. So you have to queue up 15 minutes before to register. But because us being Singaporeans, we are so afraid of losing out. So a lot of us will actually queue up way earlier. So my advice is come 30 minutes earlier. So if the class starts at 10, you come at 9:30 and queue up. Because by the time I go there at 9:30, it's already full. It's like there are already like 12-15 people queuing. So every time when I reach there a little bit late, you know, like maybe 9:45, then like, yeah, there's no more slots anymore. So that's I mean, that's the irk about, you know, going on cruise, because you shouldn't be experiencing that, you know, like, you know, it should be something more enjoyable. Like, you just go on a cruise, you don't have to worry about queuing, about, you know, like running out of slots and things like that. So that's why to me I didn't really enjoy it, because when I go on cruise, it's not like that, you know. There's always enough slots. Yeah, if you just want to get a drink, like a fresh juice, or like, I don't know, like just a drink, you can actually sign up for a free membership on board to join their Dream Cruise membership, and then you get a free drink. So you can sign up online as well, and then you can just ask, can I get a complimentary drink since I'm a member, and they will gladly give it to you. They actually offered two options, whether you want to get the eco-friendly metal straws or you want to get a free drink. So I opt for the free drink. So Samuel has a Milo dinosaur because he loves Milo, and I had a yuan yang tea, and then you can ask for fruit juices as well. So that's one of the perks, I mean, that things that you may not know when you go on a cruise, to really make full use of your time and money there. The last day when you disembark, the process is very smooth, very fast. You don't have to wait for them to call you, even though they mention on the brochure that you must wait for them to knock on the door. You don't have to. By the time they knock on our door, the whole level already left except us. I mean, we did it on purpose. My mom actually did tell me that you don't have to. So when they disembark at 9 o'clock, just go down to deck 7. Just wait there and just return the Tracy, and then they will just release you. So a lot of people do that. Like, they can't wait to leave the ship. So when you leave, very fast, within half an hour you'll be out. No testing after that. You don't have to test for any COVID tests. Yeah. So that's of my whole cruise experience. I didn't take much footage or videos because I don't think I really enjoyed myself, even though it's my first time on Dream Cruise. But I must say that the cruise is very well maintained, very small. One of the smaller cruises that I've been to like larger cruise when I was younger. Very small, but it's new, it's very up to date. They even have a VR center, but sadly you have to pay for the games. During happy hour time, they have like 2 games for $22, so you have to pay extra. They have very up to date advanced VR facilities. Gym is great. They have very advanced gym equipment as well, so no complaints about that. Pool is clean. So service wise, yeah, it's really down a notch, because on cruise the service is really top notch. Usually on cruise the people there will be very warm and friendly and say hi to you, but I just find that the service here needs to be better. I mean, it's okay, nothing unpleasant so far. Pretty polite, some of them, but some of them just, I don't know, not just trained, or they just newly recruited kind of crew. Yeah, so that's my experience. Overall, I wouldn't recommend you to go on a Dream Cruise, but if you really die want to go because you can't wait to get out of Singapore, then do go ahead. Do follow some of my tips. You can also watch the video that I posted on TikTok, what are the 7 tips that you can actually follow and make full use of your money there and your time there. Yeah, so I wouldn't go again. If I would want to go, I'd probably just try Royal Caribbean. Yeah, so thank you so much for the video, and if any questions you can just leave a comment below, and I'm sure that people will also those who actually been on the cruise will also reply, and I'll also try to reply all your queries. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.